Today you'll see 3 skirts that are longer than what I usually wear. Neat, pull up, super comfy. Obsessed, I would have made about 10, but I've made 3 to share. It's such an easy make. Hi sewing friends, I'm Karina from knittingpinsandneedles.com. Welcome to this channel that is all about sewing, limitless sewing, and I have a pattern to share with you today that essentially has one pattern piece, believe it or not. The original pattern has one piece. I've added an extra piece just because, but I'll explain that later. Super easy to cut. It takes a little bit of fabric, but it's worth it because the design is spectacular. It's just so impactful and so easy to sew. Like most patterns from Pattern Emporium, it's a new pattern from them, and it's called Turning Point Handkerchief Skirt. I think the name is really clever, as always. Turning point. There are 4 points on the skirt, on the hem. So turning point is perfect. Handkerchief hem, super nice. It's fitted at the waist and hips, and from sort of the upper hip, mid hip, it just flares out beautifully. Gorgeous. 3 lengths here, they're all midi. The shortest length will be below the knee, and then the longest length will be around the ankles, and you have these points here on the side. It's really hard to describe. I hope the line art shows it, but it's really nice. It's asymmetric. Absolutely love that. Anything that's asymmetric, and I'm like, take me there. I want that because it's just so beautiful the way the movement happens, and it just makes your eye go this way, that way. It's just so amazing. I love asymmetry in sewing. The way you finish the waist is super easy. It's with an elastic that you sew on the top, and then you fold it in twice and stitch in the ditch on the side. So from the outside, you don't see elastic, and it's hidden on the inside. I've done a yoga waistband on all of mine because I'm just really hooked on yoga waistbands, and I try to avoid elastic as much as I can because with a yoga waistband, you don't need one. But that's all personal preference. The skirt essentially looks the same. For fabric, it's for knit fabric. Don't even attempt to make this with a woven. It just won't fit because it's nice and fitted at the waist and hips. It's just not going to pull up. So it's 100% designed for knit fabric. The cool thing about this one is that you need 40% horizontal stretch at least, but you don't need vertical stretch. So on the rare occasion that you have a knit that stretches beautiful from selvage to selvage, but vertically nothing, you'll still be able to use that type of fabric with this skirt because vertical stretch isn't essential or required for this pattern. So I think that opens up a lot of possibilities. Light to medium to heavyweight, whatever you want is just going to look different. I say I've used a light, a medium, and a heavyweight. Maybe you'll see the drape is a little different. So ITY is one of the fabrics I've chosen, very lightweight, beautiful. Rayon spandex, modal spandex, bamboo spandex. Remember, these have a ton of vertical stretch, so they might end up looking longer and fitting looser than what you expect. So just know that. I don't sew with these types of fabrics. I think they don't last long. I'm not using these fabrics anymore, but I know a lot of people enjoy them. Double brush poly, in essence, you could use it, but I don't think it's a fabric that drapes a lot, and it can get a little bit hot, so I'm just putting an asterisk there. Cotton lycra, I don't think would drape a lot either, but it's up to you whether you want that to be dramatic. The same thing would happen with Ponte Roma, Liverpool, something more structured. I think the points and the drape would just stand out further away from the body rather than drape. So it's up to you. You could use stretch velvet, you could use athletic knits. If you find a really nice hefty sweater knit, you could make a beautiful skirt like that as well. I have seen some beautiful sweater knit skirts, so that's an option for winter. I mean, there's so many things you can use. If you want to do the elastic version that the pattern has in the tutorial, you need 1.5 inch elastic. How much you want that to be tied around your waist, I always say measure it and figure it out yourself, because even though patterns can give you a guide, it's always going to be so personal the way that you feel that tightness around your midsection. I personally go with the loosest the elastic can be without making the garment fall down. That is how I like it. But I know other people like it more snug. Because the Turning Point skirt is brand new at Pattern Emporium, it's going to be 15% off Monday noon the 26th, but in Australia over here it'll finish the day before, Sunday the 25th of May at night. I'll leave all the details in the description box and also at the top of the comment section, pinned, easy for you to find. Also my affiliate link. If you do want to support the work that I do here on YouTube, you click there, it takes you directly there, and I get a small commission back from the designer. You don't pay anything extra, so I'm super grateful if you use my link. Now, apart from the Turning Point skirt, there are lots of other patterns that are also 15% off for this release sale. They're patterns that could go with the skirt. And I've actually paired a lot of these patterns in the lookbook with my skirt. Sizing from 4 to 30 Australian, size 30 goes up to a 58.5-inch hip. The hip measurement is the most important one for this. You need to take that circumference about 8 inches from the waist, 20 centimeters down. Some people have it lower, just depends on the shape. Find the widest part. That is the circumference you plot on the chart and you figure out what size to make. I'm a size 16 Australian right now at Pattern Emporium, so that's what I've chosen. I've made 0 fitting adjustments as usual. All I did was choose the lengths that I wanted to make. I made 2 that are the shortest length available and 1 that is the longest version available. There is 1 in the middle of what I've made as well. So there's 3 length options there. 0 personal fitting, nothing. All very easy, very painless, very relaxed. Let's check out the sewing. It's so easy and fast. The tutorial mentions you hemming it, or with some fabrics it could be possible to just cut it really neatly with a rotary cutter and to not hem it. So for 2 of my versions I've hemmed it. I've added extra mitered corners there just because I love doing them. I'm going to show you that. And one of my versions is not hemmed. So I'll show you lots of things. It'll be practical. This is the pattern piece for the long skirt. You can make shorter versions, but they have the same shape. I've written there what they are in your body. It's a very different type of skirt. The top part is the waist, the short section is the hip and sort of like the side seam. And then the hem is sort of the straight edge at the top of the screen and on the side of the screen. This is a piece on the fold and you cut 2 of them, the same for the front and the back. Once you have your pieces, you extend them and you put them right sides together and you're going to sew that curved seam. That's the waist, hip and side seam. And that's 2 seams and that's it. That's all the seams you need to make the skirt. I'm using the serger to sew these 2 pieces together, 1/4-inch seam allowance. You can see there's a slight curve. 2 of these, very simple. Now, if your fabric allows it, you can just be careful when you cut it with a rotary cutter, hopefully, so there's no ragged edges and you could just leave the hem raw. But I'm not going to do that with the ITY, so I'm serging all the edges because I want to fold it up and do a proper hem. So it's up to you whether you want to leave it raw or hem it. I'm hemming it. You can see all my edges are serged and now I'm ready to do all the folds for the hem. We're going to have 4 points, 4 corners. On these corners, you could just fold them, but I'm going to go the extra mile and do little mitered corners. It's just so easy. I want to do a 1-inch hem allowance, so I'm marking 2 inches from each of the corners with a pen. And then I'm just going to draw a diagonal line uniting them. Then I get the corner, fold it right sides together, align the top and the bottom along the same line and pin. And then we're going to have a little triangle shape. We're going to sew right on top of that pen mark. Tiny seam. Then we cut off that excess, just leave about 1/4 inch there. And then when we flip it, we get the beautiful mitered corners with 1 inch on each of the sides. There are 4 of these to do. This is something extra. You don't need to do this. This is not even in the pattern, but I can't help do mitered corners. It's just so pretty and so easy. After doing the mitered corners, I took my sweet time to hand base this hem and now I'm just top stitching. I'm using a narrow zigzag for this. It's a super discreet hem all the way around. It's like you're doing a big rectangle. I'm doing a yoga waistband for mine. I have one of them here for a black version that I'm making. I have this paper that I hang on the wall as a template. This is just for the width of it because the length depends. You can see it's 5.5 inches. That includes the seam allowance on both sides. And I just measure my waist and take away about 3 inches, 3 to 4 inches, so I can have all that negative ease. And that's my yoga waistband. It's just going to have 1 little seam at the center back. Here, I'm almost ready to serge. I've got my waistband ready, pinned onto the skirt. I divided the waist of the skirt in 4 and the yoga waistband in 4. And you can see my waistband is smaller than the waistline. And so as I serge, I'm stretching the waistband slightly to match the edge of the skirt there at the waist, and that's it. Yoga waistband is folded onto itself, so I've got 2 layers of fabric. It's a really nice heavy fabric with 10% spandex, nice recovery. It'll be amazing, comfortable, and I won't need an elastic. This is my first version. I think it's stunning. I bought this fabric in Chile in the summer. It's an ITY, but it's a sort of heavier ITY than others that I have. So nice. And this is the long version. Super long right here. Now here is my yoga waistband. You saw me sewing a normal yoga waistband in the tutorial, which is just a rectangle that you sew, fold onto itself and divide in quarters, all of that. I gave you the basic measurements that I always use. But for this skirt, I didn't have enough to cut the whole yoga waistband like that folded. So I only had enough to cut this part that you see. So on the inside, I have an athletic knit. It's something I would have wanted to do anyway because I don't think ITY is a great fabric for a yoga waistband. And I have done this trick in the past where on the inside, I have a very heavy structured knit with a lot of stretch and recovery and all of that. And then on the outside, I can get away with a thinner layer. So all I do is sew them, you know, a long strip of the thin fabric, a long strip of the heavier fabric, I sew it, and then I treat it as normal. I just get an extra seam here on the top, and it's serged, flipped, and the serged seam is stretchy, so that's fine. And I can have on the outside the look of the same fabric. It's just I did not have enough to cut it out. I also was not able to match those little stripes on there. I rarely tuck in, so it won't be seen. This is a version where I did do the hem because this is a fabric where the wrong side can be seen. I really wanted a nice hem allowance, so I chose to do 1 inch and I mitered the corners as you saw, 4 corners. I think it looks really nice. This is a fabric I would not leave raw. It's really hard for me to leave raw hems, to be honest. The only times I've ever done that is with a really heavy rib knit, some scuba suede. But for ITY, I always want to hem this. So I took the time. And let's be honest, sewing the skirt, cutting the skirt probably took 5 minutes. But doing the hem, let me tell you, all that hand basting, that took the longest. But it was worth it. It's such a beautiful skirt. I love the subtle stripe feature in here, checks, whatever that is, with the red flowers. Let's see it on. Remember, I'm pairing this beautiful skirt with other patterns that are also on sale at Pattern Emporium. I'll leave a little sign there on the screen. You know how I model and I put the things right there on that white wall over there? That's how you get all the information. This is my first turning point skirt from Pattern Emporium. This is an ITY, this is a straight size 16, and this is a longer length option available. There are 2 lengths that are shorter than this, but they're all midi. And check out those little points on the side, so pretty. The fabric is so floaty. It's such a fun sew with those corners. I really enjoyed it. I made my waistband a little bit different because I prefer not having elastic around my midsection if possible, so I tend to add yoga waistbands to things. So that's what I have over here. But the pattern has you turn in an elastic twice. It's a super easy technique, and I've done mitered corners on all my points, something extra. I really love the look of this skirt. It's so swishy and floaty. I've got it paired with my 1 shoulder tank from Pattern Emporium that is also in this release. It's a really gorgeous tank. I love that asymmetry. It's one of my most favorite tanks and I need to make more. It goes perfect with this long skirt. All my skirts were made with the goal of wearing them for cold and hot weather. So here is a colder weather look. I've got really lovely boots and a sweater. This is enough for how cold it gets here because it doesn't get too cold. Really love the boots and the sweater. I don't feel that this looks frumpy at all. The sweater is not too long, it's not too boxy, so it goes perfectly. It's red, of course, it's gonna go with the skirt. I'm pairing red and black with this skirt, and I think this is a really nice look for autumn and winter. I just love having clothes that I can wear the whole year round. Here is another look for summer with a sleeveless woven top that's really pretty. Again, it's a shorter top at the high hip. Not too tight, not too loose, perfect to just wear over the waistband and not feel that you need to do any type of half tucks or anything like that. The red tones here go perfectly together, so I'm really happy to have this one as another alternative for hotter weather. ITY is really fresh, you know, this is not going to bother me. It's not going to make me hot around my legs. There's nice air coming in through everywhere, so even though it's long, it's going to be great for hot weather as well. And here is a very casual look with a jacket, a little cami tucked in, and sneakers to spend the whole day out on the road with a big bag to carry lots of things. I think the skirt is super versatile and it's going to work for whatever I want it to be. I can dress it up and dress it down, and I think this is really cute as well. The jacket is ready to wear. If you're loving the sewing content and it's helpful for your own sewing at home, please tap on that like button. It takes you 2 seconds and it really helps my channel grow. Hopefully more people that love to sew can find me over here. After making the first version in ITY, I just loved so much how it looked and how it felt. I had to sew another one. So I cut another one. This time it's the shortest length and it's a really heavy athletic knit. Polyamide and spandex is really, really heavy. It does not curl. And because it's the same on both sides, this is a version I decided to just cut with my rotary cutter, super neat, just going boom, not that ching, ching, ching. You know, I didn't want jagged edges. So this is the one that's not hem. When you leave the hem roll, you need to reinforce that serged edge on that seam there. For this black version, I didn't do a hem, I cut it really neatly. So on this serged edge, I want to neaten it up. And I did all those 4 threads so I can knot it really nicely. And then nothing's going to come undone and it's going to look super neat. So I've shown you how to do that. It's super easy. And I have this beautiful skirt that took no time to sew. And what takes the longest is the hem. And I didn't need to do that here. So it was just this curved seam, whack on a yoga waistband, and I was done. It was amazing. So this has a normal yoga waistband, nothing special. The way I know which side is the back is where I leave that center back seam there. And this is just the best. I'm going to love this skirt so much. And this is good for winter, for summer, for any weather, sporty, more formal. I love having a black skirt and I wanted one in this style because I think it's stunning. I've got heels here. I've dressed it up with my one shoulder tank, also from Emporium. I think this looks really, really nice. I love black outfits. I love wearing black. I think it's a color that really suits me. And having a black skirt means it's so versatile. It's going to match a lot of the things. Now, this is the shortest length available. It's right below the knee there on the front. For this one, I have the yoga waistband as well. And because it's a heavy athletic knit, I didn't hem it. I just cut it really, really carefully with my rotary cutter, and that saved a lot of time in the sewing. So this skirt was basically 2 seams and a waistband, and I was done. So it's great. I love it in black. Here I have another outfit with the Besties tee from Emporium. This top is a little looser, so do have a tuck on the side. I think it's really nice in ITY. It's got lovely options. Of course, it's going to look great with a black skirt and nice walkable block heels. That is how the top looks. I could also wear it tucked out if I wanted. Love having this. And the Besties tee is also a pattern on this release. Check out those flutter sleeves, so cute. And this print ITY, I was so happy to find it because it's just unique. I chose a deep V here, but there's many other neckline options. Casual look, super cute with white sneakers and the all-in easy fit shirt, also from Emporium. It's a pattern that is also in this release and it's super nice tied up at the front. I'll also show it to you completely undone and loose. I think I could get away with it as well. I think with my height, I can get away with breaking a lot of rules. So I would be very happy to wear this just like it is like that, or tied up in the center or a half tuck or something. I think this is adorable, and this shirt is one of my faves in zebra print. This is another non-traditional color combination. I have a red cami and my green smitten jacket, also from Emporium. I think this tone of green and this tone of red doesn't give you that Christmassy vibe. So I'm quite happy to brighten the outfit with a bit of red in here. There you can really see the yoga waistband. It's so comfortable. I absolutely love yoga waistbands. That's why it's really hard for me not to do them, because I know they're so easy to sew and they always work. And then I don't require elastic, and it feels like you're not wearing anything in the midsection, so that is amazing. And here is another casual look for autumn. I have the Chasing Butterflies sweater, which is amazing, also from Emporium. I'm gonna just open my arms and you're gonna see the bat wing style. It's just so comfortable to wear. Casual with sneakers, and the style of the skirt is perfect for casual or dressing it up. So I'm super happy with this skirt. So many ways to wear it, and black, yeah. I really am going to wear this one a billion times. And I rarely make more than 2 garments per pattern release because I just don't have the time. Usually, I usually want to make more. In this case, I would have made 10. It's so hard to choose the fabrics. There were just so many that I would have loved to sew up in this style. It was so enjoyable. So I couldn't not sew it with this one. This is an athletic knit. I'd say this is a medium weight one. And I have made other things with this fabric in the past. I have a beautiful dress. I have a hoodie with a bit, and now there's nothing left. But this is super nice. Again, I have a very contrasting wrong side. I wanted that big hem there so it looks neat, and I have the mitered corners just like I did with the ITY version. With this one, you can really see the seams on the inside. And again, I have a sneaky yoga waistband with 2 fabrics. This time not because the fabric wasn't appropriate, because this would have been amazing, but I just did not have enough. So on the inside, again, I have a black athletic knit. So from the outside, no one's gonna know. And I can still have a yoga waistband that I love so much. Remember in the tutorial, you have the other method that is super easy to do as well. It's just that these yoga waistbands, because they have no elastic, they just sort of mold around you and you don't feel them. And it's just so comfortable. That's why I always choose a yoga waistband. And I usually just put them on a lot of things. So this is amazing. The color that I chose to highlight from here is this magenta. And black, of course, and white. But there are other secondary colors here that I would not highlight. I couldn't help myself but make 3, and this is the third one in this gorgeous athletic knit. This is a medium weight fabric, same length as you saw before. There is a length in between the longest and this one that you're seeing, and this print is super beautiful. Again, I've got it paired with my one shoulder tag from Emporium. Super pretty. I love, love, love this print. The wrong side of the fabric is white. I've got a yoga waistband again. It was all the same. And with this one, because the print is so different on the wrong side, I did hem it, and I've also got the mitered corners there as something that I love doing. Such a fun skirt. And I've chosen one of the colors in the print there, the magenta pinkish color, to pair up on the top in the next couple of looks as well. So this is a refashioned linen shirt that I made a few years ago. It's super, super pretty. It is quite loose, so I have done a tuck in the center there just to streamline the look a little bit. And I've got matching shoes. When I get closer, you see there is that color in the print there, and I think it's the best color to highlight from the print. This is how the shirt looks, and you could also tie it up in the center. I think that looks adorable as well. Lots of ways I'm going to wear this one, and it's just amazing. This print makes me so happy. I've made other garments with this, and now this fabric is over, sadly. I loved sewing it. Here I've got another magenta pinkish top, this time a sweater. It's super nice. I've got my boots back. Now the good thing about midi length skirt is that the skirt just covers the boots, so it doesn't cut off your legs. Makes you look taller, that's what people say, so let's go with it. I love it. This is going to be great for autumn and winter for me, because that's usually all I need. I don't need more things. So this is really nice. I'm so happy I can wear this whenever I want, whatever weather is happening. Check out the matching bag. I just love everything about this. And for me, a floral doesn't mean I can't wear it in winter. I just don't go by that. And here is a super casual look, super cute. There is white in the brought out my Sweet Toka top. Has a bubble sleeve, embroidery and glaze, cotton. This is also from Emporium. I think it looks really cute with the sneakers, and yeah, this is just adorable. Love it, super comfortable. The top is looser, but it's a little shorter. The skirt is fitted at the waist and hip, so I don't feel that I need to tuck anything in here. I'm super happy with my 3 skirts. Lighter weight, medium weight, heavy weight. Lots of fabrics can work. I think they're amazing. I just feel so glam and amazing in these skirts. I just love that they're different to the typical skirt, and I love wearing different things. The lengths, you know, make them in different lengths. You can see that the shortest version is still below the knee. I usually would not wear a midi skirt right below the knee, but because the hemline is asymmetric, I think it looks amazing, and I'll be really, really happy. So remember, there's one right in the middle. I did the shortest and the longest, but there's another cut line that you can sew. And they were just so enjoyable, so easy. I know you're gonna love them. You can see I styled them for summer and winter. Highly recommend. Easy pattern to sew up, very quick. You can be very happy with a new garment in a very short time with very little effort, and that is amazing in sewing. Because, you know, sometimes we do really involved projects, and these are just amazing to sew up and have a little bit of a breather, relaxing time. That's all from me. I'll see you tomorrow with something else, something in knit fabric as well. Make sure you check in tomorrow. See you then. Bye.